Call to order tonight's Committee of the Whole for the October 7th Auburn City Council meeting. City Council should have the minutes from the Committee of the Whole from September the 16th. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a move to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the minutes are carried forth. Any questions on tonight's agenda for substitute city manager, Mr. Scott Cummins? Any questions?
How is this agenda I found on my desk different from the one that we had?
That's a good question. I was going to actually address that. There was a small error in the city manager's communications that we noted. The term of the Parks and Rec Advisory Board will begin December 1st, 2025, and end on November 30th, 2029. I'll read that correctly into the minutes. They want to give you an updated agenda for that. That agenda has been updated online, and the attendees tonight have received an updated agenda for their packet.
And do we still have item 10 under resolutions 10B?
Item 10B is removed from your agenda, and I will note that again in the meeting.
All right. Mr. Cummins, anything for us?
Well, that was it.
That was it. Okay, good. Okay. Any other questions from the council? All right. Is there a move to adjourn the Committee of the Whole?
So moved.
We are adjourned, and we will get started right at 6 o'clock. Please feel free to visit amongst yourself for the next few minutes. We'll call to order tonight's Auburn City Council meeting for October the 7th, 2025. We welcome all of you that have joined us here live. We welcome those that are listening on WANI, as well as they're watching through our streaming services. Lindsay with the roll call.
Adams.
Here.
Here.
Dawson.
Here.
Griswold.
Here.
Mormon.
Here.
Parsons.
Here.
Taylor.
Here.
Witten.
Here.
Here. Before we move forward, I just want to mention, yesterday, early in the morning, we lost a former member of our planning commission, Miss Wendy Birmingham, passed away. Wendy was a very kind person. She worked hard on the planning commission. She had also spent her life's work at Lee County Youth Development. She was a kind lady and a good mom, and certainly will miss her. And I would ask, as we all rise for a moment of silence after our Pledge of Allegiance, that we keep Wendy and her family in our prayers and thoughts, okay? Would you please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. This is the first meeting of the month of October, and so we are excited to introduce you to our Employee of the Month, as well as a number of service awards. October must have been a very popular time to become a city employee, because we have the longest list I believe we've ever had. So, yes, sir, with video. We are proud to introduce you to our October Employee of the Month, and I have a memorandum here from our Police Chief, Cedric Anderson. Officer Damian Berry has worked in law enforcement for 14 years, spending more than half of his career with the Auburn Police Department. Throughout his time with the city of Auburn, he has served in various roles, from patrol officer to most recently school resource officer. No matter what unit Officer Berry serves on, his dedication to taking care of his community remains consistent. This has been particularly evident throughout his tenure as a school resource officer at Auburn High School. The Auburn Police Department has received numerous commendations from students, teachers, and parents, praising Officer Berry's work as an SRO. His ability to act as both guardian and friend to his students has allowed him to build a valuable level of trust that has left a lasting impact on these students and their perception of law enforcement. Officer Berry is not afraid to put his own safety on the line to protect his students. An example of this occurred when Officer Berry was made aware of a foot chase heading towards his school. He immediately responded to the call, quickly and safely apprehending the suspect before any harm was done. His dedication to his work alone is enough to make him a standout employee. However, it is the extra work done outside of his job description that truly sets him apart. Whether it's buying new clothes and new shoes for students to wear on picture day, supplying students with laundry detergent to clean their clothes at night, or quietly paying for students' lunches when they are unable to, Officer Berry consistently goes above and beyond his assigned duties to make sure that his students are well taken care of. Officer Berry is a mentor to his students and an ambassador for the city. His actions are a prime example of what all SROs should strive to be, both professionally and beyond. Our schools and city are a better place because of his service. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you. Okay, well, congratulations to Damian Berry. What a great selection he was, and exciting to see him after that moment that morning. We ran into each other at the football game on Friday night, and he was just doing his thing on the sidelines, helping control the crowd, smiling at the people, talking to the kids. So what a great ambassador for our community, and so congratulations to him and all of our employees for their great service for the city of Auburn. During the committee of the whole, there were no actions that were officially taken or discussions. There were some clarifications on our agenda tonight. Under announcements, just a number of things I'd like to run through. And Mr. Scott, you might want to have your Parks and Rec director aware. So the next three are going to be about her world. So the Therapeutics Prom with Ignite the Night, what a tremendous effort by our staff. And I know Elizabeth Kaufman's a point person in that group, but just what a sweet, poignant, intentional evening for a selected group of our citizens, and I just am grateful that our city has the heart to provide that kind of moment for those people and their families. It was very special, and I was proud to be there. As well as the walk and the memory, the time of memorial time with the Chanelli family this past Saturday. I want to thank you, Allison, for you and your staff. I thought y'all managed that very appropriately and participated in the planning of that and the planting of the tree and providing, the audio and the gazebo there and having a couple officers there. I just thought it was a very special time, and I was proud to be a member of this community, and I know the family had some peace walking away from that. So thank you for what y'all did. And then Hickory Dickory Park got taking the Band-Aids off and got it rehabbed, and it's ready to go again, right? Kids playing on it. It was packed today. That's exciting. Very exciting about that. I want to say thank you to certainly the folks who helped me with the state of the city. Certainly Sydney and Cynthia and Allison and David, thank y'all for that, and all the department heads for your participation. I've gotten a number of compliments on it. Dan, they were even proud of looking at you on the video. They thought you did a great job too, but I thought it was a great evening, and I appreciate everybody's support and those of you that attended. I know we had Household Hazardous Waste Day last Saturday. Ms. Cook, I'm guessing it went well? Good. That's awesome. Well, thank you again for doing that. And then today I noticed we're having lunch with a planner. I just thought that was one of the best ideas I've seen in a while. I don't know where that came from. To me, that's one of the most, I don't want to say misunderstood, but certainly not understood things that we do here at the city as planning and zoning, and to create a comfortable atmosphere to discuss those things. Mr. Cummings, I just applaud the staff for coming up with that idea, and I encourage our citizens, there's a number of dates that you can go and have a very casual time and talk to our planners about how things work in this town, and it's confusing, and it's hard to understand sometimes, and this is your time to talk shop with the people who are leading that charge, and I encourage our citizens to take advantage of that. Okay. Anyone else have anything they'd like to announce tonight? That way? Okay. Yeah, Mr. Griswold.
I'd just like to welcome back Bob Parsons, a healthy Bob Parsons.
Absolutely.
Parsons version number 2 now, right? And if you'll notice, he has more gray hair now than when he, prior to his health issues. He tells me it's always been there, but I think he may be coloring it or something more distinguished. But welcome back, Bob. So glad you're healthy.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Thank you, Colonel.
No
Appreciate
question about that. Yep. Okay.
I'd like to jump on that. This is Bob Parsons 2.0 or reboot. And I asked him how he was doing, and he said he ran a 5K last week. So, way to go. It's just so good to see you sitting there. And we're all pretty excited, and I got Bob's permission to say all this because we don't like to embarrass him. But welcome back, Bob.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back. I had a scary moment. I have to extend my deepest thanks to the East Alabama Medical Center cardiovascular unit. They helped me in a very rough moment, so they all power to them. So thanks a lot. Appreciate your kind words.
Thank you, Bob.
One more thing I'd like to add, if I may. One of my favorite events is coming up, and this may be in the Parks and Rec area as well. It's a time when I get to see a lot of my old friends at the Pine Hills Cemetery Lantern Tour. That'll be the 23rd and the 24th day of October from 6:30 to 8:30. I believe it's $15 at the gate, and you can also go online and reserve a time, which is probably worth doing because you just walk right in then. You don't have to stand in a line. Is this your event?
It's in conjunction with the Auburn Heritage Association. They have been sponsoring this for well over 30 years and putting the proceeds back into our cemeteries. So it is a wonderful event, and we're grateful for their assistance.
Well, I enjoyed it, and I think they write a book too. I think there's a book that goes along with that you can take home. So, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
I would like to announce tonight that my youth organization, which is called Y Phelps and Match, will be hosting a tailgate trunk or treat in the Boykin parking lot on Sunday, October the 19th from 3 to 6 p.m. And all ages up to 15 years old are invited to come out and get some treats out of people's trunk. So, and welcome back, Bob. And we'll see you at the trunk or treat.
Appreciate it.
He's older than 15.
Have his trunk open, I hope.
All right, anyone else? Okay, we'll move ahead. Auburn University Communications.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I first just wanted to say that some of the external affairs team and I got to go to State of the City last week, and we really, really enjoyed it. Especially loved the little intros to all of the Lamplighter Awards. We thought those were really clever.
Good. Thank y'all for coming.
But Auburn's SGA met with the student affairs last night, and it was a really productive time. Students shared feedback on changes that they'd love to see around campus, and in return, student affairs gave us a look at some of the ideas that they're considering for the future. And then there are a lot of exciting opportunities for students to get involved on campus right now. Freshman senator applications actually closed today, and this is a new opportunity that gives freshmen the chance to get involved in SGA Senate. They won't be able to vote on bills, but they will get to serve on a committee and learn how the Senate operates behind the scenes, and hopefully that will encourage them to run for Senate of their college. And then Panhellenic exec applications are open. Interviews are going to take place later this month. And then anyone involved in the Panhellenic community is encouraged and invited to go out for that. And then Miss Auburn nominations just opened and will close on November 2nd. Each organization can nominate one female student who they feel best represents Auburn's values and spirit. Obviously, y'all know this is an incredible honor and one of Auburn's most meaningful traditions. So super excited for that this year. And then finally, fall break is this weekend. There are no classes for students on Thursday or Friday, giving students a long weekend to rest and recharge. Most students are going to stay in town for the Georgia game, and hopefully we'll be rolling tumors on Saturday night. That's all from me. Thank you, and War Eagle.
Thank you, Evan. Yep, War Eagle. Okay, at this time we'll have citizens' communications on items on tonight's agenda. Remember, this is just for items on tonight's agenda. There are a few things under ordinances that have public hearings attached. If you'd like to speak to the council about either one of those, please wait till then. But if you'd like to address the council about anything on the agenda, now would be the time for you to come forward. You have 5 minutes to speak. Please give us your name and address for the record.
Robert Wilkins, 261 Denson Drive, Auburn, Alabama. I'm going to talk about the board vacancy announcement. I've attended 6 straight Park and Recreation Board meetings. If I'm not mistaken, only one person has been at all 6 advisory board meetings. Several missed 2 meetings and one missed 3 of the board meetings. It's hard to stretch out these board meetings for even 30 minutes. When you automatically re-elect the board members, would participation not be important? What the board has accomplished not be important? I'm not concerned that still concerned that more qualified and creative citizens of the Auburn community are not applying for the positions on the various boards because this council has made the position become too automatic for 2 terms, and that the same people are elected on the various boards. We just had the superintendent of education be elected on the board. Is she not busy with our kids? Even our longtime past mayor of Auburn has been elected for the second time on a 6-year board that's after being mayor for 20 years. In the past, I've created and headed advisory boards. The number one thing I would tell them that their participation and attendance is mandatory. If you cannot do that, then you cannot be a part of the board. When you volunteer, it's the same as being employed. All the other members rely on you. Mayor Anders and our 8 city council members have failed us in providing us creative, qualified board members. I also want to talk about 8D12 and 8D14. I have noticed on today's agenda is flooded in getting rid of our tax dollars, including more inventory of vehicles. I attended the 4 budget workshops, and it was stated that we had 968 inventory units from the 870 inventory units from last year. That is 98 new units with I estimated a low of $3.5 million of purchases in 2025. I requested a list of the 870 units that Mayor Anders talked about in the 2024 State of the City Address. As usual, the city manager, by the way of the city attorney Paul Clark, only provided half of that inventory. Every 10 new employees the city hires cost us over $1 million in wages with their benefits. My point is, when is this council and its mayor going to monitor the excessive expenditures by this bloated city budget? We do not have time to spend. We do have time to spend every dollar we get. We don't have to spend it immediately. Thank you.
Who'll be next? Okay, we'll move ahead to city manager's communications.
Thank you, Mayor. As announced in the Committee of the Whole, board vacancy announcement for the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. 2 vacancies. The term begins December 1st, 2025 and ends November 30th, 2029. Appointments will be made November 4th, 2025. And also remind you that item 10B has been removed from the agenda.
All right. Okay, move ahead to the consent agenda.
Would any council member like to remove any item from the consent agenda for separate consideration?
Yes.
I'd like to remove 8D1 and 8D4.
1, 8D4. Okay.
8D11.
D11. Yes, Sonny?
I'd like to remove item 8 Delta 2, 5, 8, 9, and 16.
Okay. Kelly, they're leaving a few there for you now.
Yeah, I've got some, in general, comments about the consent agenda. So,
Do you have any you want to pull right now?
no, there's none I want to pull.
Okay.
But-
Anyone else? Max?
I'll take one too. 8D6.
6. 8D6, all right. All right, I can't remember who pulled all these, so y'all don't hold me to that, but I know we're going to pull 8D1. I believe that was you, Ms. Witten, right?
Yes.
So we'll go through those in order. 8D1 is a request to authorize the city manager to execute an infrastructure development agreement with 68V Greenwood Village 2026 LLC for the proposed Greenwood Village development located on Farmville Road.
I would like to move to postpone to a date certain of October 21st. There are 3 other items further in our agenda that I will also be asking to postpone. And the reason for that request is that several months ago, before we had this item on our agenda, we also were looking at a future land use plan for the Farmville area, and I would like to revisit that land use plan because I don't think it's appropriate to consider an item that is not in alignment with it. So I just want to revisit. We've gotten a lot more further down the road with that area, and I would just like to have that conversation in a work session if possible.
Second.
Well, she moved to postpone. Okay, we got a second. Mr. Cummings, any comments have you and Ms. Witten talked about a potential date for a work session?
I think Monday, the 13th would be a good date for the meeting. We can, coordinate that with everybody's time as far as the final timing on that. But have had some initial conversations with the city manager, and we'll work to coordinate with you to get that set.
Okay, Ms. Witten, you're out of town the balance of the week after that, correct?
Correct,
So Monday's the only
yes.
time you're available next week. Okay. So if the council would check on Monday the 13th, if you're available late in the afternoon, that'd be great, and I'll get in touch with everybody tomorrow. Okay? All right. So postpone any other action we need to take on this, Mr. Cummings? We've got it postponed until the 21st.
That's correct.
Okay, then we've got a second on that. Do I need to go ahead and vote on that?
Need to
All right.
vote.
All in favor of postponing to the 21st, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 8D2 is a request to authorize the mayor and city manager to execute a funding agreement with Alabama Department of Transportation for fiber installation and authorizing the city of Auburn matching funds of $176,000 for the project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. I believe this was you, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Mormon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to highlight this one because it's a win. It's an expensive thing to do. It's $880,000 of trench digging and cable laying, but we're paying $176,000 only of that, and the federal government, I believe, is paying $704,000. My question, and that got answered for me, but I wanted to make it clear to everybody else, is that this will only be used for red light timing and for deficiency monitoring. It will not be for commercial use, residential use, but simply for city use.
It is. It's to continue network and expansion of our connection through a fiber network to all of our signalized intersections so that we can control and manage those in a much more streamlined manner.
And of course, we're very glad to have that capability. I just kind of wanted the citizens to know, if they see this work progressing,
Thank you.
what it's all about.
And if I could applaud the efforts of staff. Are always looking for grant opportunities, and this one was an 80-20 matching contribution. So thanks to Brandy Ezel for identifying this grant.
Well done.
All right. Any other comments or questions? Kevin.
Yes, I've been working with the city manager trying to identify and crosswalk agenda items that note that they're fully funded with the actual budget book. I've complained in the past about level of detail. Just so you know, this $176,000 is not individually identifiable in the budget. It is lumped in to a $900,000 budget over 2 fiscal years. So that's the type of detail that I refer to sometimes when I don't think we have sufficient detail in the budget. That's all.
All right, anyone else? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
Okay.
All right, 8D4.
Item
please.
8D4 is a request to authorize the city manager to execute an agreement with Care Humane Society for animal sheltering services for FY 2026 in the amount of $228,408.
Move for approval.
Second. All right, we have a motion and a second. I believe, Ms. Witten, you also asked for this one to be pulled?
Yes, I just would like to ask if we know how many animals were serviced from the city of Auburn in the last fiscal year.
Yes, we had 917 animals to be serviced from the city of Auburn, and that includes animal control as well as our citizens bringing in.
Okay, and then this, I know this 228 is over, is for fiscal year 26, and then we determined 27 based off of what the.
This year,
this
yes. So we're
activity.
always a year behind, and that's based on our pro rata share of what we bring in.
Is that 917? I know occasionally we get a report from CARE, which is nice to get. Is that 917 an increase over?
That 917 is a little bit less than what we actually do typically, and that's because we had a respiratory illness with our canines, and so they had to shut down for a while. So the number you have there is based on our average, which is 1,043. So that's what we did this year for Care Humane Society.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Certainly grateful for our partnership with CARE, the hard work they do. It's unbelievable volunteers out there, and kind people, patient people. I just encourage our community, be responsible pet owners. The fallout from not being responsible ends up in CARE's building, in their facilities. So, all right, anyone else? All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries. 8D5.
Item 8D5 is a request to authorize the city manager to execute an infrastructure development agreement with Cleveland Brothers Incorporated for future street improvements associated with the Woodson Hills development on Hamilton Road.
Move for approval.
All right, got a motion and a second. I'm not sure who asked to have this pulled. Is that you, Mr. Mormon?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead.
My understanding was this is an interconnectivity issue.
Correct.
Has the interconnectivity issue been solved to the satisfaction of our planners?
That's the purpose of this development agreement. So the master plan provides connectivity to Bonnie Glen, which is our desire. Ultimately, we would want one access from this area out of either Bonnie Glen or Woodson Hills onto Hamilton Road for safety and safe carrying of the vehicles. So, you know, we agreed to permit them to go with the new development as long as they connected to Bonnie Glen. At some time down the future, or in the future, we may, reevaluate that Bonnie Glen intersection altogether. So this will provide connectivity for the residents on Bonnie Glen to access Hamilton Road through a new development in new streets and new intersection with turn lanes and all the associated benefits.
We're satisfied right now with the,
Absolutely, and the purpose of the agreement was to guarantee that this connection would be provided within the next 5 years.
thank you.
All right, any other questions, comments? We have motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right, number 6.
Item 8D6 is a request to authorize the city manager to execute an agreement for interchange landscape maintenance of exit 50 and 57 with Evergreen Landscape Company in the amount of $80,000.
Move for approval.
Motion is second. Mr. Koblenz, was this you?
Yes, I just noticed this bid was a fair amount less than the other bids received on this. I'm assuming that the level of service that we're receiving at at both these intersections, same amount that we have been in the last few years. There's nothing changing from that perspective that we know of. Is that correct?
No, I can allow our Public Works Director, Dan Ballard, to speak to that.
Yes, sir. The scope of services is identical to the previous contract terms for both interchanges.
Okay. I just noticed the vast difference between the two. And there's performance agreements along with this contract, I'm assuming. These are kind of two gateways into our city, so I just they look great now. I want to continue to make sure they look really good.
Correct.
Okay.
The scope of services includes some performance language regarding how the interchanges are to look and appear.
Okay.
So they are to appear in a manicured state pretty much at all times.
Okay, great. Thank you.
They're doing an excellent job down there now, whoever's doing it. It's really,
Yes, I agree.
50 looks good.
I agree.
50 looks real good.
Thank you.
But it should, it's mine,
Gotcha, Chief.
Mine in Ward 8.
They know who they're near down there in 50, Tom.
Exactly.
Anyone else? Yes, sir, Kelly.
Just for everybody's information, if you're looking for this $80,000 line in the budget book, you won't find it there. It's rolled up into a snapshot of all the business units combined that cover landscape survivability, landscape and sustainability. So again, there's no specific reference to this $80,000 contract in our budget book.
Anyone else?
I have a question on that.
Yep.
Since this is a bid, this is after the budget, there's a budgeted amount that we approved, but how would you have an 80,000 line item if we don't know what the bid is in our budget?
It's all the individual service contracts under different departments, this one specifically, the Public Works Department, those are all, totaled up into a summation of what we provide to you for those contracted services.
Right, so like you wouldn't have a line item for 80,000 in a budget that was approved prior to receiving a bid for this amount, because you don't know what the bid amount is at the time of the budget.
We don't know what the bid amount is. We have an estimate in order to prepare the budget for that, and that's what we use to, compile those.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Dan, just on my own curiosity here, what was do we know how much the previous, Max had pointed out that the previous landscaper had been doing a very good job. Do we know what that contracted amount was? Is that?
Combined contract value, I believe we were at 97,000. So this is less than the previous contracts for the maintenance of those two interchanges.
Okay.
They were separate contracts. These are consolidated currently. So we saw this as an opportunity to put both interchanges on a singular contract.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right, number 8.
Item 8D8 is request to authorize the city manager to execute an agreement with Headley Construction Corporation to resurface 16 hydroclay courts at the Auburn Tennis Center in the amount of $127,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. I believe this is you, Mr. Mormon.
Yes, sir, thank you. And as far as I'm concerned, we can discuss 8 and 9 together if that's doable, but I just wanted to give our Parks and Rec director an opportunity to describe the upgrades in our award-winning tennis courts.
Alice?
Happy to. So our 16 clay courts, it's typical for us to resurface them every 3 to 5 years, again, based on weather, a variety of factors. And then as far as our hard courts, similar reasons. It's asphalt, as you know, that expands, contracts. We have cracks that can affect play, surface, etc. And so those we resurface every 7 to 10 years. And so we're just hitting the life of both the clay and the hard courts.
Apparently, we're well known for our tennis courts. I heard that at the Lamplighter Awards.
We are, yes,
Yeah.
sir. Our staff did an outstanding job and received the Outstanding Facility of the Year award.
Okay, any other questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right, number 9.
Item 8D9 is a request to authorize the city manager to execute an agreement with Headley Construction Corporation to resurface 12 hard courts at the Auburn Tennis Center in the amount of $98,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Mr. Warren?
No further comments.
All right, anybody else? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Number 11.
Item 8D11 is a request to authorize the city manager to execute an agreement with Kronos, a UKG company, to purchase UKG time clocks for time and attendance software in the amount of $188,595.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Mr. Adams?
I wanted to get a little information out there about this, about the reason why we're doing this, and I guess would Erlinda be the person to ask about?
Yes, I'd like our HR director to please step to the microphone and provide an overview of this. It's a hefty study that we performed last year in making recommendations to make this migration, and I think they've done a very thorough job, and she can explain that very well.
That is,
I think we started out with a software
yes.
upgrade, correct?
Yes, November of 2024, the council approved the software upgrade. So back in April or May, prior to that, we were made aware of Kronos switching to UKG and a migration that was necessary. So with that, we partner with the IT department, finance department, since we all go into the, payroll software. And we demoed multiple time and attendance softwares. Tyler, Munis, we had many hours. We got quotes. We looked at the time clock piece, so we knew that we would need to upgrade our time clocks. So we came to Kronos in 2015.
So most of our clocks are 10 years old anyways. So it's like a phone or computer. Think you have to upgrade those softwares every so often. So even if they hadn't migrated, it is potential that we'd have to change the clocks now. But with the migration, the new UKG platform will no longer support the clocks. So we need new clocks.
If we would have migrated to a different system, we would have likely had to have replaced the clocks
We would
as
have
well.
replaced all the clocks, correct?
The second question is, and maybe this, I need you to help me out with this. Maybe this has to do with my lack of understanding of what the time clock does.
Yes.
But just on its face, $5,300 for something that you would swipe to keep time feels like, feels like a lot of money. So are there additional capabilities of it, or were there additional options that we looked at that were compatible with UKG?
So this is their clock that's compatible with UKG. So the other options are higher as far as like, we do a finger scanning and they have higher where you can do like a face screen. Obviously, we're not gonna go in that. So we do the finger scanning with it. So an employee punches in their number and it scans. So this is the clock feature for it, and we did not upgrade to other features. So basically, they clock in, it tracks through the software to clock when we know they come in and out.
So
that
this
we're-
is essentially like the base model
Correct.
time clock for
UKG.
UKG. Got a
And-
pretty good business model.
Yes.
I completely understand that it's a migration that we had to have. We didn't choose to migrate at this time. It was they were going to not support the software anymore, which is what software companies do. They do it to make a little adjustment there and make themselves a lot more money. And
And
say that we have an added feature to it or something that you might not ever use.
Yes, and like Mr. Cummings stated, we did look at multiple companies, compared prices, looked at clocks, and we looked at it as a whole in its totality, and chose to stay with UKG with your guys' approval.
All right.
So.
Thank you so much
Yes.
for that.
Thank you, Linda. You good? Anything else?
I'm good, Ron.
Okay. Anybody else have a question or thought? Okay, we have motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right, number 16.
Item 8D16 is a request to authorize the city manager to execute an agreement with Stryker Medical to purchase one LifePak 35 heart monitor for the fire department in the amount of $58,350.70.
Move for approval.
All right, have a motion and second. Mr. Mormon?
Thank you. One quick question, but I want to point out, this is also a win, as was the previous item that we talked about. This also is a defibrillator, is it not, along with a monitor? It just says monitor in our notes, but I think it's a defibrillator as well.
I'll let our Public Safety Executive Director address that.
Yes, that's correct. It is a defibrillator. It's the same model that we're carrying on the other ALS units. So this will be an expansion of our ALS program. So you'll have another advanced life support unit rolling on the streets of Auburn.
I looked at it and I was thinking that I had understood it to be this particular type. It's very impressive. I would recommend any citizen or anybody to go online and read about this thing. They could use them in hospitals. I mean, it's that good where it monitors everything about you and goes from one step to the next step to the next step and winds up being a defibrillator. The last point I want to make is that we got opioid funds to buy it. I think. Is that right?
We do. So it is budgeted, but we'll make a budget adjustment on the backside to use opioid reimbursement funds to pay for it. So it's not coming directly from city taxpayer funds. It will be coming from that opioid fund.
And we're going to, this particular one is going to be assigned to the fire department?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Bob, can you vouch for this thing?
From recent experience, indeed.
Okay. All right, anyone else have a question or comment? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
So moved.
So moved.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the consent agenda is approved. Ordinances.
So on to ordinances, item 9A1 is to establish one stop sign, one 25-mile-an-hour speed limit sign, 4 one-way signs, 4 regulatory roundabout yield circulation signs, and 4 roundabout circulation signs in the Woodward Oak subdivision Phase 5. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second?
Have a motion and seconds. Anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with the vote on this evening? Seeing and hearing none. Any questions? All right. Lindsay with the roll call?
Here, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Parsons?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Koblenz?
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold?
Yes, ma'am.
Anders?
Yes.
Item 9A2 is to establish traffic signs in various subdivisions as listed in the attached ordinance. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
Have a motion and seconds. Anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with the vote on this evening? All right. Seeing and hearing none. Any questions?
Ron, I got a question.
Please.
Mr. Cummings, I had inquired about a 25 mile per hour in a school zone signs around Grove Hill Road that's going back to Lake Wilmore now. It's right in front of Ogletree School. Just kind of want to see if I could get an update on where we were with that particular signage.
So that is a work in progress. We're actually trying to get that on the agenda. Could be as early as the next council meeting. There are some things we're considering with that. While that is technically ultimately a public street, is Grove Hill Road that leads back to the community center. I think, we're trying to evaluate and make sure that we have the appropriate right-of-way dedication for that to be a public street in association with being able to get the signs up and established. So we do hope to get that in if not the next council meeting, very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
update.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
All right.
I would hope that we could see that sign up or let that brought to us by the next council meeting.
Yes.
If at all possible.
Okay.
So, thank you.
A lot of activity out there now, especially late in the afternoon,
Which is good.
which is great.
It's exactly what we
Absolutely.
want.
No question. Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments? All right. Lindsay with the roll call?
Yes.
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 Yes, ma'am.
Dawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Item 9B1, under zoning, the Greenwood Village pre-zoning, which proposes to rezone approximately 53.5 acres from rural upon annexation to Development District Housing, DDH, on property located on West Farmville Road between Pepperwood Trail and Auburn Lake Road. Unanimous consent is necessary and a public hearing is required.
I'll just deny unanimous consent.
Okay.
Okay. So this will come back up in 2 weeks.
Correct.
All right. And the public hearing will travel with that?
Public hearing will follow that.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Item 9B2 is Greenwood Village rezoning, which proposes to add a planned development district PDD overlay to a DDH base zone on approximately 53.5 acres on property located on West Farmville Road between Pepperwood Trail and Auburn Lakes Road. Unanimous consent is necessary and a public hearing is required.
I'll deny unanimous consent.
Okay. That will come back up in 2 weeks with the public hearing.
With a public hearing, that is correct.
Okay. All right. We'll move ahead to item C, annexations.
Annexations. Item 9C1 is Hickory Creek annexation. It's an annexation of approximately 68.5 acres on property located on south side of Sand Hill Road. It's across from Mill Creek Road intersection. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Was that a second down there?
Second.
Okay. Got a motion second. Anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with the vote on this evening?
Mayor, I'd like to move to postpone this to a date certain of October 21st. This annexation is related to 2 other rezoning items that were part of the planning commission meeting, I think all three items need to be viewed together. I didn't deny unanimous consent. I wanted to explain why I was postponing to that date, so I'd like to propose a date certain of October 21st for the postponement.
All right. Mr. Cummings, do we need to take action on that?
To vote to postpone it, yes.
Okay.
Before you do, I just would, clarify the reason this is on your agenda and not carrying forward with the other rezoning is the planning commission actually approved the annexation and then later postponed the zoning actions for the same property. So it put them lagging behind, and due to the time constraints of needing to get this before the council within 60 days, we needed to present it at this time. So Mr. Colbert's actions are appropriate.
So we've got a motion to postpone this to October 21st. Any other discussion or comments on that? All right. Do we need to do a vote?
We'll need a second on that.
Do we need a second?
Second.
Oh, I thought Tommy. No, that was originally a second on the postponement. It came from Tyler.
Tyler?
Yes. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Thank y'all for your patience. Yep.
Item 9C2 is the sample property annexation. This is annexation of approximately 53.5 acres associated with the Greenwood Village development on property located on West Farmville Road between Pepperwood Trail and Auburn Lakes Road. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I will deny unanimous consent.
Okay,
We'll have this in 2 weeks.
on the 21st, yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Item 9D is a request to authorize the city manager to execute a franchise agreement with Unity Fiber GovCo LLC. Unanimous consent is necessary and a public hearing is recommended.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
All right, have motion and seconds. Anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with the vote on this evening? Seeing and hearing none, I'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. You have 5 minutes to speak to the council. Okay, seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay. Lindsay with the roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Hoagland?
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons?
Yes.
Yes.
Under resolutions, item 10A1 is request to authorize the city manager to execute a task order 02-2026 with Jacobs Engineering Group Incorporated for professional consulting engineering services to the city of Auburn for the Northside Water Pollution Control Facility Pump Station and Flow Equalization Project Phase 2 in the amount of $701,800.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, motion is second. Any comments or questions?
I have a couple of questions,
Yes,
if I may.
please.
So the phase two that I read in the literature has to do with, what does it have to do with? May I just ask the question open-endedly?
Well, it's phase 2 of the project. It's, the phase 1 was a conceptual design. I'll let, Keith and Matt make and address those items. Matt Dunn?
Yeah, so phase 1 was essentially a conceptual design where we were looking at sizing of the tank, location of the tank, just various things that you would look at a high level, kind of 30,000-foot level that dictate the actual design of the tank, the more detailed design of the tank. So phase 1 of that was completed mid to late 2024. So this is the actual more detailed design of the project.
All right, one more question, if I may. I read at the end of the staff summary, the memorandum, the words additional capacity. Does this, what we're voting on tonight, will that provide additional capacity, and if so, in what way?
Yeah, so essentially what the flow equalization tank is it is a storage tank to basically store what we call wet weather, peak weather flow events. When we have a big storm event and we have inflow and infiltration into our system, that flow is basically like a detention tank almost to handle those wet weather flows, prevents overflows, which are regulatory issues for us, things of that nature. So it essentially just provides additional capacity, particularly in those wet wet weather events. And the tank we're looking at is a 3 million gallon per day tank, so.
Very large detention pond to hold a storm water back, and then pump it to the south station.
Yes, it'll eventually basically be released back into the to the facility and then pumped to the Morgan plant for treatment once storm subsides and flows are back to normal.
The Morgan plant is the old one. I think it was 1958 or so that it was completed.
Well, now, the Morgan plant was built in 1985, as well as the north side plant off of Richland Road. The two original plants for the city, there was one located where Hickory Dickory Park was, or is, and the other kind of what we call the south side plant was where the new East Alabama Medical Center emergency room unit is there, close to Wire Road.
Well, I appreciate the detail. This is something I know very little about. We've not gotten a tour, I don't think, individually or as a group, to either one of these facilities. I doubt if there's, well, maybe one or two up here who've seen these things.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Yeah, we would be glad to.
I would
facilitate
very
that.
much like to do that, and I was going to ask for this to be postponed so that we could, in fact, do that. I would love to do it, and I feel like I'm not able to cast an informed vote on this project because I really don't have a visual. I don't have an understanding of how all this works. But after hearing the discussion tonight, I guess I'm okay with it. But I would like, just for the record, I would like to be thrown in that briar patch. It's not something you get up in the morning and say, I want to go see the sewer treatment plant. But I think I went as a fourth grader. Oh, you do. I went as a fourth grader, and I was fascinated by it, and I don't believe I've been back since. So I would like to go.
I've seen it, and I promise you it's working.
But we're paying good bucks for this, and
Thank
we're
goodness.
proud of it, and it's working well.
It's working at Walmart when they put it
It's
in. I watched
actually
them put the whole thing in, a sewer line, everything. I've walked pretty much all of it, and it works good. So I wouldn't lie to you about that.
We'd be glad to facilitate a tour. I actually did one for a trail life group last night of about 20 boys, so.
I'd fit right in.
Good.
And,
Mr.
yeah,
Cummings, could you make a note that Mr. Mormon would like to take a tour of the sewer treatment plant?
I would, and I do applaud the efforts of our Water Resource Management Department for evaluating these. This is the infrastructure that they're installing. While ultimately the construction cost carries a pretty hefty price tag. It is a much better way to handle and shave off these peak flows and not have to upgrade pipes and add more significant infrastructure and costs to them. So, do applaud the efforts of our staff in digging into these things and coming up with the most cost-effective analysis and recommendations to the council.
Thank you. Kelly, did you have something?
Yeah, again, I'm working with the city manager to help me reconcile, what's on our agenda versus what's in the budget. She's been very helpful on that. Again, if you're looking for this $771,000 expenditure in the budget, you won't find it. There is a line in there for the north side flow equalizer tank and lift system, but that's a $34 million effort. So if you're looking for individually for how we're spending this $771,000, you won't find it in the budget. But it's in there. It's just lumped in with a whole bunch of other stuff. That's it.
All right. Anyone else? All right. We got a motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10A2 is a request to authorize the city manager to execute an agreement to purchase one E1 custom pumper truck from Sunbelt Fire for the fire department in the amount of $873,071.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion second. Any comments or questions? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And a reminder, 10B was removed from the agenda.
Okay.
That's all of the business we have.
Okay, this time we'll open the Citizens Open Forum. This is your opportunity to speak to the council about anything that you would like. We'd ask that you please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. And you have 3 minutes to speak to the council. 3 minutes. Who will be first? Yes, sir, Mr. Cosgrove.
Good evening, folks. Steve Cosgrove, 1927 Watercress Drive. thanks for the opportunity to address you again tonight. Bob, it's good to hear that your medical situation is taken care of and resolved and so forth. I didn't know about that, but glad to hear that report. Really appreciate and respect and admire every one of you and everything you do for the loveliest village over here. We have a wonderful council ward person in Beth Whitten, does a lot for our particular neighborhood, but I know it's the same thing for every one of the neighborhoods. I was sitting on the porch with Miss Cherie Lockhart about a week and a half ago. It was on the anniversary of when John Henry Lockhart passed away, but she and I sat there and talked for over an hour or so, and I just wanted to mention that she's doing fine, and her family's doing fine, and that neighborhood is doing fine. I grew up in a household, safety first. Matter of fact, my dad had a mammoth job real quick. He was responsible for the Illinois Central Railroad from Chicago to New Orleans and all the spurs on. He was a civil engineer, and whenever there was a derailment in Natchez, Mississippi or Paducah, Kentucky, he would fly off and go. But he wrote a book or a manual called Safety First, and we learned that really well. There's a couple of things that I noticed that are structurally, and it has to do with the roadways, real quick here. If you drive down Dean, either way, in front of Auburn High School number 2, one on Sanford and Dean, you'll see some orange cones over this particular drainage area. It's the strangest looking drainage thing I've ever seen, and I've worked a lot of structural steel. I've tied a lot of rebar in roadways and so forth. But if you look under those orange cones, you're going to see a 30-inch by 18-inch brick-lined, not covered opening that goes down about 4 feet. And I'm just thinking of the little, not just the eastern box turtles and the little gophers and so forth that fall in, but if ever a child fell in there, it'd be hard for her or him to get out of there. Little 2- and 3-year-old child. I just encourage you to take a look at that, if you would, if you don't mind. The other thing has to do with the bright yellow pedestrian signs. If you would look, and the possibility of putting one out here, right, not out here, but of City Hall, Titchener to the Kendall, Auburn Kendall, right across there, because I was there the other day, and I only got 8 seconds, but I was there the other day, and there were 2 or 3 lanes here, and a lady was walking in front of me, and there was a box truck. Nobody could see her, and this truck went flying by. I'm going to finish up. But I was just really, really, really worried. And if it just, and
Thank
thanks
you, Mr.
for
Cosgrove.
giving me an extra couple seconds.
No,
But if you would take a look at that, I would really appreciate
Yep.
it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you all.
Who'll be next?
Robert Wilkins, 261 Denson Drive, Auburn, Alabama. Bob, it's great to have you. You're looking good, really
Thank you.
looking good.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I put up polls periodically on nextdoor.com and give the council kind of the results. So I did 4 since the last time I did this. September the 3rd, should the Auburn City Manager be able to deny concerned citizens access to financial data through the legal public records request system? There were 3 choices. 20% said yes, that I and other people should be denied. 75% said no, and 5% said not sure. On July 31st, it said, what kind of transparency do you feel we have in the Auburn City government and Auburn City Council? 3 choices. There is excellent transparency in city government and council. 32% said it was. There's fair transparency in city government and council, 10%. There's poor transparency in city government and council, 32%. And I do not know about our city transparency, 26%. On June the 13th, should the mayor run for mayor run again? And it said that 25% said yes, no said 63%, and 13 said they don't care. But there were not many people that responded to it, so just want to let you know.
How many people responded?
We only had let's see, 25.
To all the polls?
Yeah. No, for that particular one. It varies. We may have 100 or two. We may have down to this amount. This was the lowest we've had. April 30th, do you think that the changing of Auburn's logo and brand helps improve the image of Auburn? Out of that, 19% said yes. They like the change of the logo. 64% said no. And 17% do not care. And that's it. Thank you.
Who'll be next?
Hi, I'm Deborah Beal, 802 Tullahoma Drive, and I'm here tonight to talk pickleball. I'm excited that you're getting the tennis courts fixed up, but we pickleballers are so excited that the old Sanford courts are open now, and there are people out there playing this evening, and that the last 6 courts are open over at Lake Wilmore. But I also wanted to let you know that, I don't know if you're familiar with the Ion Grace Foundation that helps people with ocular melanoma travel for sustaining treatment. So the pickleball courts at Lake Wilmore are going to host a tournament to raise funds for that. So the pickleball courts that you have helped build and that we are now using is going to raise money for that organization. It's going to be on Saturday, November 8th. And if you want to register or get more information, you can go to the iongracefoundation.org. And we thank you for pickleball.
That's a great organization. Thank you for bringing that up. Anyone else? Who'll be next? Okay. We'll close citizens' communications. Anyone from the council have anything they'd like to say? Any comments? Okay. I'd like to read a statement. This is a personal statement from me. I'm certainly not speaking for the other 8 members of the city council. Yesterday and today, I've had a number of conversations with local business owners since it was announced that next season's Auburn-Baylor game will be played in Atlanta instead of Auburn. I know how important home games are to the livelihood of local businesses and to our economy here in Auburn, where sales tax is our largest revenue source. I know because I lived it with my when my family owned Anders Bookstore and relied largely on the businesses we would do on game weekends, just like our downtown merchants and our restaurants and other businesses and our hotels throughout town rely on those weekends today. Every football season has its own character and rewards and challenges, but through it all, I want our business community to know that I am eternally grateful for the hard work that each and every one of you do and for your investment in our community. I want you to know I will continue to be an advocate for local business during football season and throughout the year. I've spoken to the athletic director, Mr. John Cohen, and President Chris Roberts, and shared my disappointment and concern. Our local business community employs our citizens. They sponsor our youth teams. They donate to our local charities. The taxes they create fill our potholes, support our police officers, purchase our fire trucks, build our parks, and improve our roads. I want to thank every business owner who believes in Auburn and makes a daily investment in our city. That's it.
Mayor, I think you're spot on. I support what you say.
Absolutely, and shame on the university.
Yeah, I would agree too, Ron. Very disappointing.
Well said.
Look, I want to follow up by saying it's a new day we have to work in. The rules have changed for everyone. And I certainly understand that the rules have changed for Auburn University and the athletic department too. But the people who work with us every single day need to know that we support them and believe in them. If y'all want to do something to help them, shop with them. Okay? All right. Anything else? Move to adjourn?
So moved.
We're adjourned.